So when people talk about yoga, there are different stages of yoga. Most people just connect with the physical yoga, which is basically a physical exercise to prepare your mind for the meditation. Some people know a little bit about pranayama and basic principles of meditation, but it's not true meditation. It's just basically, I would say, mind fulfillment. So true meditation completely will discharge your mind from your true self, from the soul. And that is a very high yogic achievement, which can be realized on the highest principle of mystic yoga. And of course, to engage your soul in loving relationship with Supreme Lord is Bhakti Yoga. So therefore, Bhakti Yoga considered the highest form of yoga, which all the great yogis aspire for if they have fortune to connect with that divine principles in the form of spiritual masters. So there are different schools of yoga which describes in scriptures, but Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, describing all these forms of yoga, he said the highest of yogi is one who established loving relationship with Supreme. And why is that so? Because love is a ruling principle of everything. Love is beauty of a ruling principle. Without object of love, you cannot fully experience your own self. Although experiencing our own self will have to bring us to happiness. So what is the happiness? Is ability to love and exchange our senses. Even in this gross material world, where people happy when they're in love. It's a normal stage. When somebody's in love with someone, he's experiencing the full fulfillment, happiness, and the person he loves, he see all beauty, all great qualities in him. So these are great feelings that we're all trying to achieve. But we know that feeling of love, you cannot invoke this feeling but your own endeavors. You have to have loving tendency, but it will come to you as a grace. So divine love of God is a grace that comes from God, that comes from great saints, from great teachers. Experiencing this divine love of God will put us in the position of the most happy being. And that's what we are. We are meant for happiness. We're meant for eternity. We're meant for divine love. We're not meant for death and suffering. However, by our own misfortune, we enter this material world. By our own misfortune, we're experiencing what we're experiencing right now. So therefore, when we ask in question, why am I suffering? Why am I suffering? It's a very good question. It's the beginning of your spiritual awakening. You're suffering through your misconception of who you are and what the world is. Instead of going towards sweet, loving Lord Sri Krishna and spiritual world, you decide to be a ruler of dark world of matter. And of course, everyone here is competing with one another. So when you achieve temporarily a position in this world, you think you are the most happy being, but actually losing this position, even worse, because you're falling down, you feel a lot of pain. So this world is world of pain, but there's no pain, no gain. Pain is a very good wake-up call for us to realize we're spiritual beings. We're not from this world. We need to come back with a world when there's no suffering of physical existence, where there's no death, there's no mortality, there's no limitations. And that, therefore, that pain of suffering can be transferred, endeavor for the search for Sri Krishna, for the truth, for the beauty, for love. It's internal search. Therefore, you have to pray to the Lord. You have to accept one principle. I'm not just the center of the universe. There's already center of the universe. There's sweet, beautiful Lord. He exists. So my prayer to you, please reveal himself to me according to his mercy. And what the Lord does. Somebody think, well, it appeared to you like on a smoke screen and three-dimensional hologram. No, it may happen to the great yogi, but to common people, Lord is sending his representative, his devotee. So going to association of devotees of Supreme Lord, people who dedicate their life to search and service of Supreme Lord, is the greatest benefit you can achieve, especially if those people are devotees of Krishna, because they will give you the most high spiritual knowledge of Supreme Lord. Why is that so? Because Krishna explained himself in Bhagavad Gita. All the Bhagavad Gita, word of Krishna, it gives you the whole spectrum, every religion and yoga. Even the atheistic people like Einstein or other materialistic philosophers would appreciate Bhagavad Gita because it's the book of common sense. It reveals you different plane of consciousness, different way that people are supposed to act. But at the same time, the Bhagavad Gita has deep spiritual message that cannot be understood by materialists. And the spiritual message is very simple. The Lord of source of everything rules by love. And if you want to be eternally happy in eternal existence, establish your lost relationship with Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. This is the very simple message of Bhagavad Gita. However, Krishna very liberally explains how this world is functioning, what is the position of human being in this world, how we soul transmigrate through planes of consciousness, what is the plane of action, what is the plane of knowledge, what is the finally true meditation, how to understand moods of material nature, such as ignorance, passion, and goodness, how to understand people, religion, and mere environment around yourself. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita gives you the scope of divine knowledge from different stages and different parts. It gives you the knowledge, it gives you path of love, and gives you a way to worship and a way to perfect yourself. However, the true meaning of Bhagavad Gita is to achieve bhakti yoga, the supreme relationship with Lord Sri Krishna.